Culture has never been devoid of rationality. But are superstitions coming in the way of understanding and appreciating the rationale behind culture? Explore culture through the lens of mathematics and reasoning in a brand new series called Math in Culture. In Indian culture, temples are religious places of worship. Many ancient temples in India are known for their architectural prowess and are breathtakingly beautiful. They weren't just a place for chants and prayers. One can also call them functional, built for certain scientific purposes. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, located in the state of Orissa, India, is a shining example of the same. A temple that can measure time accurately to this very date. What's more peculiar and yet fascinating is that it measures time in an anti-clockwise fashion, contrary to all modern clocks. Hi, I am Neelakanta Bhanuprakash, the world's fastest human calculator, and I'll be unveiling an intriguing piece of architecture in the famous Konark Sun Temple. I've heard a lot about this beautiful temple from my friends who have visited it multiple times, but the fact that it is also an ancient clock piqued my interest even more. Keep watching till the end to find out how it works. The Konark temple was built by King Narasimhadeva I in the 13th century CE as an ode to Surya Deva, the sun god. Konark is a portmanteau of Kona, meaning corner, and Arka, meaning the sun. And so, the temple is aptly named. The overall structure of the temple resembles a mammoth chariot riding on 24 wheels, each about 9 feet and 9 inches in diameter. And the fascinating part is that 2 of these 24 wheels can still tell time. Here's the Konark wheel at the east side of the temple. Notice that it has 8 major spokes and 8 minor spokes. This wheel represents a clock with a 24-hour cycle, and the major spokes divide this wheel into 8 sections or prahars. Here each prahar represents 3 hours. The minor spokes divide each prahar in exactly half. So each subdivision of a prahar demarcated by 1 minor is about 1.5 hours or 90 minutes. On the inner periphery of the wheel, we can find multiple beads corresponding to each subdivision. There are 60 beads in each prahar, and every bead represents 3 minutes. Every bead is so large that it can further be divided into 3 parts, where each part represents 1 minute. Based on where the shadow falls on the bead, it's possible to calculate the exact time to the minute. Now, that was all about the setup of our quirky clock. The time telling, however, is the interesting bit. Notice that the middle of the wheel has a small cavity. To measure time, people used to place an object in the cavity and take note of the bead where the object's shadow falls on. The shadow served the same purpose as the hands of the clock and the beads as the divisions of the clock, together informing people what time it was. However, there's a small difference between our clocks and the one in Konark. The wheels work in an anti-clockwise fashion, and the topmost major spoke points to 12. So keep that in mind if you plan to visit the place and measure time. Now remember, there are 2 wheels, one on the east side and one in the west. One wheel isn't enough. Unlike most sundials that lie on a flat surface, the Konark wheels are fixed to the sides of the temple, and so they pose an unusual challenge. At noon, the sun will be directly above the wheel on the east side and not cast any shadow on it. As the evening approaches, the sun moves to the west and shines no light on the east side of the temple. That's when the wheel in the west would get illuminated and function as a sundial. This is why we need 2 wheels. The wheel in the east works as a sundial only till afternoon, and the one in the west from afternoon to sunset. So as long as the sun is shining, these 2 sundials will tell time perfectly, even though they were built centuries ago. Since the clocks essentially rely on sunshine to tell time, they won't work at night. So they are not completely equivalent to our modern 24-hour clocks. Can you imagine the work put in by astronomers, engineers, sculptors, and mathematicians 750 years ago to make this work? Without phones, technology, Google, they were able to accomplish a tremendous feat. That's why the Konark wheel finds itself on the 10 rupee Indian currency note. So the next time you feel religious places are just for prayers, rituals, and hymns, remember the Konark Sun Temple. There is a theory that the rest of the wheels in the Konark Temple are actually moon dials that can be used to measure time in the night. What do you think? Is that true? If so, how would that work? Drop in the comments and we'll pin the best explanation. Want to discover how culture and rationality are intertwined with mathematics? Follow our channel for more such interesting stories. Want to develop cognitive skills and improve rational thinking through mathematics? Book a demo class with Bhanzu and start your journey in becoming 4x faster and better at math.